Alright, welcome everyone to this video build on 40k Warhammer Rogue Trader. I'm making this build video due to a subscriber request. He was curious about how I this overall general build on one of my shorts I made. I'm just going to quick run through everything. Now, quick disclaimer: this build is just my personal build. It's not meta. Not going to make you win on unfair difficulty. I believe I'm playing on just regular casual core difficulty. Not the easiest one, but just the normal level. And it just gets me through fine. I mean, it's just a build I like, based on my play style. Just somewhat like a battle mage. So, particularly for this build, you do not have to play a dogmatic character, but you do need to get to dogmatic level 2, to a headgear equipment we're going to be using, which I'll showcase later on in the video. But since we're on the summary page, this is what my summary looks like so far. I am 5 in Iconoclast. The really only real important thing I like about Iconoclast is we get the heroic action ability. But I'm personally, I tune more to Iconoclast playstyle. I'm not overly dogmatic or evil, so this just fits better for me. Features, we'll get into that as we go down the archetypes. So, first things first, for this build, we start off as Blade Dancer, and then go into Overseer, and then we have some exemplar talents. I'm not max level. I'm currently still in Act 4 of the game. I had stopped playing after a little while. There's some other games that came out, but I'm gonna come back into this one, make some more videos. Probably in the coming months, closer when the next DLC set gets announced. Let's go right into the first one. So your first archetype will be Blade Dancer. Standard, the first few levels, you're gonna get Blade Dance. Blade Dance is one of the bread and butter abilities for me. I know most people, when they make build videos, they're saying Death from Above. I personally love Blade Dance, because it looks cool when they do the animation. It does a lot of defense. So level 1, get your Blade Dance. Level 2, we're gonna go get Medicae, because we're gonna pick up some talents later on. It helps play into the build. Then we get Death from Above. Before I forget, this, you do not have to follow this religiously if you want to get the same results I have. The reason I say that is I've respected a bunch of times just playing with different archetypes to go with my build with Blade Dance and Psyker. So just gonna throw that out there. But once you hit level 4, you get your Death Waltz ultimate, and then you also get pick a talent. I chose Blade in Hand. For this build, we're stacking. Our 2 main focus will be willpower and agility. Third will be your weapon skill for our parries, but we're going to tie into more of that later. Again, another piece of equipment that helps mediate some of that, and why I say it's third. All right, next level, we're going to raise our Psycho Minoris. Then we pick agility for our characteristic. For your active ability, I would say it doesn't matter too much. I went with the Biomancer background for my Psyker, mainly so I can get 2 main things: strong arms, which you start with when you pick the background, and later on we're going to use warp speed a lot. This is a bread and butter one, but at this current level, you're not going to be able to get much. So really, it's just a personal choice. Do you want to heal or do you want to debuff enemies? Healing is not that big of an issue for me and my play style and how I set my team up. So I went ahead, got Enfeeble. Raise Medicae again. Raise Agility again. Then I picked up Death Warden. I believe you could have picked this up earlier, instead of getting Psyker Minoris. But like I said, this was tailored this a little bit better to how Woodbear works for you. this was all set up after I did some respecking at like Act 2. But we pick up Death Warden, that way our Medicaid goes into our crit damage, and also our weapon skill gets replaced by it. For this one, I chose Carouse. I believe because my Lord Warp was already maxed out and I couldn't pick any more. So if not, I would have chose Lord Warp just so my Psyker can be kind of like the Lord Warp guy. I don't really bring Adira much in my party too much. I do cycle through all party members, but my main set doesn't have Adira and Abelard and those. Next level, we go ahead and just pick your Death Watch ability. I chose the second option for more extra blade, Death from Blood charges. Because when in doubt, you could just span around and move around the map. It's great for relocating, especially if enemies too far away. I could use this to basically teleport all the way over there and then just DPS them down blade damage. Next time we pick is Race Against Death. Next characteristic, your agility should be maxed out. So you go ahead and go for willpower next. Then this next ability here, I believe it's too early level for you to get the next level of your psi rating upgrade. So I went ahead and got Pyromancer. Pyromancers played well for ballistic builds and also melee builds because they can set themselves on fire. Alright, next ability I got after this was It Takes Two. Just so, because I use Blaze Dance a lot, it doubles the damage on the last strike. So this is what really kills off and cleans up bosses or elite enemies I'm struggling on. Gonna level up willpower again. Again, I level up Carouse. Again, this is a personal choice. Medicaid will be maxed out by this point. So really it's wherever you choose to do. I chose Carouse because there was some skill checks later on Act 3 that I wanted to make sure I passed without having to rely on any other characters like Abelard. For common talent, I chose Physical Distortion just so I can get some damage procs. Extra damage procs. Next skill we get is Lower Warp. Then once the agility and willpower is maxed out, it's really up to you. Looking back now, because there's been some changes since I last played with the new 1.5 patch, I would probably tell you go for strength more than over weapon skill, especially since our Medicaid is kind of replacing this to a degree. I think it also replaces the crit bonus you get for having a high weapon skill, but I would just probably say go strength. Every 10 strength you put in gets you a flat 1 damage boost to your DPS. Alright. And then talents, this one really doesn't matter too much. I would say it's your free choice. I went with Sweeping Motions because I was trying to make a build with Arc Militant. And then your level 15 upgrade, really just free choice. I chose the 3rd slot, just because the other ones didn't seem that good to me. Other people might think differently. To me, it just didn't seem that good. And that's all for Blade Dancer. Now for your secondary archetype, I chose to go for Overseer. For one, I like the whole familiar concept. I like making it feel like I was like a Beastmaster, and like a pet that come to battle with me. But really, I mean, Overseer works good for my play style. If you want something a little more serious, not have to worry about Overseer or didn't really attune to you, I say either Assassin or Executioner. You know, Executioner more so if you want to follow everybody else's metal builds. So Executioner works really good for Blade Dancer if you're not going to be focused more so on the Psyker aspect and more on the actual Blade Dancer's abilities. As you saw in the first Blade Dancer archetype, we didn't really grab ain't too much of those abilities. Those mainly Psyker abilities, which is why I chose Overseer, because as you'll see, we still follow that trend. I'm picking Psyker abilities over the actual Overseer abilities. And again, that's just more so for my playstyle. I think I could get damage out of it on normal difficulty. So, but here we go. We're gonna go pick Overseer. Of course, Cyber Raven, because we're a Psyker. I then went and chose Orchestrate Flames. This is so we can get that flame damage on our melee attacks. I went and then grabbed Psyker Majoris, so we get that next level of Psi rating. So our Psi rating right now is currently level 2. Yeah, level 2. We grab our heroic ability, which is Overcharge. Got our AP increase. Characteristics, again, we're recycling. Go ahead and pick Agility. Available talents, I chose Rite of Calibration. This just makes it so the Cyber Raven's starting attack ability when you first get him is a 1 AP cost, 3 enemy AoE in a sense. So this makes it to where that ability is going to be free. So it's free DPS. Or if I need him to move over so I can buff some party members or get a better relocation spot, I can relocate him for free and then go ahead without having to spend extra AP. Again, we're buffing agility on the next characteristic. All right. Now we're going to grab Warp Speed. Warp Speed is very important to my build. I love this. Mainly so it gives you movement points, boosts your agility, and gives you extra AP. This has came in so much clutch, so handy. I love this move. Next skill you're gonna level up is Medicaid. Alright. After that, I got Adrenaline Surge. Again, just makes it easier for me to do my buffs in the beginning. When I'm about to go DPS down a boss or go clear out an area. Alright, by now agility is gonna be maxed out, so we're gonna boost the willpower. We're now gonna get Psyker Terminus. So now our Siren will be level 3. I play dual wield a lot. You do not really have to, because you can do two-handed sword on Blade Dancer and it'll work somewhat similarly. But if I would grab this talent a lot earlier if you're gonna be mainly doing dual wielding, because your AP costs and stuff are gonna be kind of ridiculous. At least until you get Warp Speed. Alright, we're gonna level up willpower again. Level up Medicaid next for our skills. For our ultimate ability for Overseer, I went and grabbed the second node. Just boost characteristics. Honestly, I never use this. If I'm going to use the ultimate, it's going to be Death Waltz. So I'm never using Overcharge. Again, other people would, because Psi Raven works so well for doing AoE damages and stuff like that. And I've seen some crazy videos. But for me personally, my playstyle, I just never use it. Next level up, we're going to grab base skill Lord Zeno. This is so we can unlock Xenos weapons. So I can use Aldari and Drakari weapons because they have some of the best weapons in the game. Well, I had nowadays. Before, when I first played the game, the best weapons were Xenos weapons from a majority. But now since the game's been updated, we got better force weapons, power swords. So You probably don't have to do this. I just grabbed it because I like using Xenos weapon. Then I went and grabbed Yukari weapon proficiency. Then again, this is a free choice. I chose weapon skill for previous state reasons, but really honestly, you could pick wherever you want. I would say either strength, weapon skill, or toughness. Skills, we start leveling up corrals. For our next active ability, I went ahead and grabbed Molten Beam. This is so I could reach further away targets and clear our line. Clear our line of enemies. This is why I'm starting to branch my character out to be more versatile, to where I can help my party out more. Instead of doing single DPS or close AoE DPS, I can start reaching out more and catching enemies at further away that I can't get to. And that's why I chose Molten Beam. For our next level up talent, we're going to pick Backdraft. This is just so as you're using all your sacred powers, you're doing some type of damage onto your nearby enemies. And it does stack up. You get, easy 100, 200 damage off later in the game, just popping like your buffs. Then we grab Body of Flames because we're going to be self-immolating ourselves, so we want to take as much damage as possible. Characteristics, again, free choice. I chose weapon skill. Available skills, I chose Carouse. For our next talent, I chose Relentless Blaze. It just works well with Pyromancer melee builds, man. I mean, if you're going to set yourself on fire, it's going to increase your psi rating. So right now, our psi rating is at this terminus 3. Right now, it's at 3 at this point. So as we're on fire, it's at 4. So that's free damage. That plays into our poison DOT damage from our Biomancer talents and gives us just higher overall damage. All right, and then we're going to put Psyker Extremis, which maxes out our psi rating as far as level up talents to level 4. And with the Relentless Blaze, that means it goes up to 5. So now we're getting some really big damage numbers here. Well, as far as multipliers for our abilities. All right. And your last level up for this Archetype tree, again, you pick whatever. I just chose the 3rd node. I never use Overcharge. But if you do, cool for you. Pick wherever you think is best. And then currently in my Exemplar path, for Exemplar talent, I went ahead and grabbed Combat Meditation. Give me a plus 15 boost to our willpower. Again, this is a melee build. I'm not using ranged weapons, so it didn't affect me. And then I grabbed Burning Blood. So every time I use a Psycho ability, they're taking 24 damage on top of taking damage from every buff. Again, we're going to boost the Medicae. And then we're going to get the Enhanced Augmetics. It gives a plus 5 to our characteristics, which I believe I chose Willpower. We're going to level up Agility. Then for our next common talent, I chose Deterioration. And then when we got our first tier ability, I chose Incinerate. This is not really something I use too much, but if certain situations dictate I don't have any other really better option, I need to reach somebody, do some damage, I can pop the Incinerate onto the target. We'll level up Medicaid next. Our next exemplar talent, I went and got Perfection Under Fire. Again, just boost all my characteristics. Better characteristics means better multipliers. Multipliers means better sustainability and DPS. And passes some of them hard checks. Then I went ahead and grabbed Melting Armor. Next level up, we went and grabbed Agility for our characteristic. Then for first tier Archetype talent, I grabbed Rising Tempo. For second tier Archetype ability, I literally was just grabbing anything. At this point, you can grab anything you want to. I've tested out Evil Eye. It was not that good to me. So I just grabbed the heal. So I grabbed Invigorate. Next characteristic upgrade, we leveled up Willpower. Next second tier talent upgrade we got was Blazing Inferno. Just so we get some extra crit chance. Next common talent, I grabbed All-Dollar Weapon Proficiency. Next level up, I increased Lower Warp. And then for Exemplar talent, I grabbed Eager for Battle. I get 2 additional action points on the first turn of combat. I do most of my buffs in the first turn, so this was really critical. And I missed it somewhere. You want to get, you guys might have noticed in the video, but I probably skimmed over it. I misread the text. But you grab Blade of Light. Yeah, I have Blade of Light. So currently in my build so far, I'm using dual Force Swords because Blade of Light scales so good. With the Force Swords, give me extra armor penetration and added damage. With my current psi rating, which is higher than 4, I'm about to show you guys how to get higher than that. You guys already know. It just stacks up even more. So you definitely want Blade of Light though. It should have showed in here. I probably skimmed over it or misread it with Hex on one of these. That's just the general build as far as the skill points, putting them into your talents and abilities and your archetypes. Again, change and modify however you want to better fit you guys. This is not a meta. As you see, there's room for improvement in a lot of these, especially with the new latest patch they put out, which lessens some of the damages you could do with, pyros. All right, now we're just going to do a quick run through of the equipment I'm rocking. Headgear, you want to have the Eyes of Joyous. This is from a colony event. If you do not know how to get this, please look it up. It helps a lot with Psyker builds. Everyone except Adira, because you can just put 2 points into Dogmatic and it gives you extra psi rating. So you see my psi rating should be 4, but 6 because of Eyes of Joyous. And then when I self-emulate, it's raising up to 7. Next, we have the Condensed Carapace. This just gives us really just more crit chance. You don't have to, if you find the armor you rather like better either visually or it's better for your build, swap it in. This one's not too much of a hard requirement. I have Joyous, that is a hard requirement. Most Psyker builds will have this. For our necklace slot, I went with the Chains of Domination. My main character drops a lot of ads, just the weaker enemies. So that stacking willpower bonus is really good. If you don't have a Psyker as your main character and you try to follow similar to this build, kind of hard, but anyways, I would say get this to, no, I played. It is to Cassia, because Cassia should be killing a lot of the ad enemies because she has some good AoEs also as well. Alright. Then we're going to have the Psi Focus. Psi Focus is very important. It adds more damage onto our attacks. This thing is critical. I love this. And for those that don't know what this does, this scales off your Psi rating. So it's 30 right now, but when we get self-immolate in the beginning, it's going to raise our Psi rating up to 7. 7 times 5. Now we have 35. So extra 5 warp damage on melee attacks. Then we have Hands of Offense. Again, this also scales off of Psi rating. So saying 18 now, but really it's 21. So 21 extra attack damage when we do our attacks. So just off these two, we're looking at what, 56 extra damage without even having to do anything. For the gloves, we have the Blade Dancer's Bracers. There's more crit damage. Well, crit chance, sorry. More crit chance. For the cape, we have Death from Above, Blade Dancer's Mantle. This just makes my Death from Above do some more damage. For the boots, I always go with in all my builds the fencing boots, just because it counterattacks whenever you parry. Which is great, because if you're playing melee build, you're constantly going to be parrying enemies. And it also increases our parry chance. For weapons, I have the Incinerator and the Sacrifice, both are Force Swords. You get these just through the factions, where you donate your extra loot to raise the reputation with them. I believe these are under the Saints of Drusus, the church people. So they're more so have the force weapons, so you want to max them out as soon as possible. And as far as you're bringing items, I just bring med kits and crack grenades. And that's about as far as it goes. That's the whole entirety of my build. I said nothing's really too much hard requirements except a few things. You do need to have Dogmatic maxed out if you want to make full use of the Eyes of Joyous. If you're not going to play a Dogmatic playstyle, make sure you at least get the 2 levels you can get for playing a different playstyle. Alright, now I'm just going to show you a small little gameplay clip of how the build looks when it comes together.
I am a navigator, not a servitor.
Who if not me? It's as good as done. I'll see to it personally.
I'm not accustomed to being ordered around. Isn't this a job for the serfs?
High momentum.
Me? If you insist, Lord Captain. I'll paint your death in colors.
On it. Who if not me? I'll see to it personally. I'll consider this a taste of what's to come. The best defense is a good offense. Never stood a chance.
Soundstripe.